Hi, hello everybody. Welcome back to THE Student Webinars. Today we are joined by SMU. They are here all the way from Texas to give us a lot of information really about why you should study with them and all of the benefits of studying abroad, of course. So today you have our host here, Junior Ortiz, who will be here to talk you through all things SMU. And we do invite questions. Please do send those in to us and we will get to those at the very end of our webinar. But from now in between then, I just want to hand over to Junior to give a small introduction, and then I will start sharing the screen. Over to you, Junior.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something that's very important to a lot of us, and that's the fact of STEM. Why the aspect of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. What's so important about it? Why is it an important aspect to our growth in the technological field and also in the engineering field? Well, what I want to do is I want to be able to kind of give you a little slide presentation on some of the things why STEM for as a career is one of the biggest things for our global future. So without further ado, if you wouldn't mind putting up the screen. And please, if you have any questions at all, chat me or send a message, and we will capture it as we go along. All right, so the biggest thing is the global future of STEM careers. What exactly does that mean? Here at SMU, we take that very seriously in the sense that we like to have our engineers be well-grounded and be able to be game changers in so many ways. Next slide, please. So again, global future of STEM, first of all, STEM is a high demand for professionals in the global market today. Why? Because they want individuals that have all these kind of backgrounds to be able to lead our technological future in so many ways. Almost every career has an innovation that originates from the STEM fields. In other words, there is not one career, even the most trivial of careers, has some sort of science, engineering, mathematics. I know when I was studying in high school, I was like, why do I have to study all these things? And later on, as I became an officer of Marines and worked with engineers and things like that, I realized how important it was for that. So almost every career has that. Many of the top paying careers in the world are under the STEM umbrella. And I'll get a little bit further into that a little bit. And also STEM is part of what is going to help us in our future as far as global economies are concerned. And because a lot of these STEM careers are dependent on people understanding the science, the technology, the engineering, the mathematics aspect of things as we go forward. Go ahead, please. So, as I said, what can STEM do for you? First of all, it's in technology. It impacts everything we do. From a cell phone to driving a car to being able to have an electric car, to be able to have engineers that know how to build certain planes, just our everyday things, our dishwashers, refrigerators, and so on. The ability for an individual to understand and develop those kind of solutions for complex problems, those are important in every aspect of what we do in our lives. No matter what you would like to do, whether you're a doctor, a nurse, an astronaut, a general engineer, and so on. Some of the most exceptional opportunities come from STEM. In other words, there are a lot of jobs that are being created that involve STEM in one way or another. And I'll get into some of the careers, especially the most important ones. Additionally, individuals that have a STEM background end up, and here's the most important thing, end up with higher paying opportunities than those that don't study the STEM piece, especially when they're entering into the global workforce. Go ahead, please. So I told you, what is the outlook of STEM? I'm going to give you 12 of the highest paying, most sought after STEM careers. And let me tell you, within the next 10 years, STEM occupations, in other words, jobs that are projected to be created and grow are going to be up to 10 to 30%, but 10% between the next 10 years. Some of the highest paying jobs and most sought after STEM careers are, as you can see right here, data and computer science, systems engineer, architects, nurses, doctors, software engineers, agricultural engineers. These are just a few, at least these are the top 12 highest paying and most sought after STEM careers. Next one, please. Now, these are the same exact ones, but I'm going to give you a little plug about SMU. You see these 7 that are highlighted? These are taught here at SMU and the Lyle School of Engineering. Why? Because we want to be able to have every one of our engineers. We want them to be able to go out there and be game changers, be the individuals that will do what needs to be done, not only to change the world, but to work in a global environment so that we can technologically become stronger and bigger. No matter what country we're talking about, these are the ones that are highest paying and most sought after careers in the world. Next slide, please. So in conclusion, again, I want to make sure that you all understand that people that have the STEM talent, they tend to do exceptionally well, especially in postgraduate degrees and so on. Countries that have STEM graduates are better positioned to have better technological breakthroughs, things like biotechnical, artificial intelligence, engineering, and all the advanced materials. Those are the things why STEM is so important for you to have and for you to study as you're going along in your lives. Again, a plug for SMU. Come to SMU and become a global change agent. Why? Because we have all sorts of different aspects of what we do. For example, first of all, we're located in Dallas, Texas. We're located about 5 miles away from downtown Dallas. We're the 3rd largest city in Texas, and some of the at least 10 to 15% of the Fortune 500 companies are located here in Dallas, and they're in the 5th highest of all the cities in America. The market is phenomenal, and cost of living is great, and of course it's a beautiful area. SMU has different degrees. For example, especially for our international students, we have a thing called OPT, which is optional practical training, which is available to F1 students. In other words, after completing 2 semesters of the program, then you're allowed to work in certain industries, and a lot of industries are looking for you. Believe it or not, don't let the fact that you are how do you say, either from Latin America or any other place, don't let that be a stumbling block, because in actuality, that's an advantage for you. Speaking the language and understanding the culture and everything else. A lot of these companies are looking for a lot of that aspect. Within 6 months of graduation, 92% of our graduates literally get jobs, or they continue in the education programs. The average salary for one of our engineers nowadays, as far as our graduates are concerned, is over $100,000. Let me give you an idea of some of the companies that are in our general area: Google, Apple, Microsoft, Lockheed Martin, NASA, Deloitte, Amazon, Bell Helicopters, Toyota, Salesforce, and so on. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. The fact of the matter is, there's a lot of opportunities, but only you are the ones that's going to take advantage of them. Take advantage as much as you can because you have that capability. Again, the future of STEM in the global market is huge. For those of you who are already in the STEM field, continue moving forward. You know, greatness begins with you. Don't ever let anybody else tell you different. Lastly, you know, if you want to come to SMU, you know, join us at SMU and as we say, boldly shape tomorrow. That's what I have for you. You know, my name is Junior Ortiz. I work on the recruiting side over here in SMU, but in the Lyle School of Engineering. I hope to hear from you guys soon.
Great, thank you for that, Junior. We got there in the end. I have some questions here for you, so I hope you don't mind, but we're going to kickstart those for you now. The first question here. Hi, what qualifications do I need to apply?
Basic qualifications is, first of all, have your a high school grad, excuse me, a college grad, and so on. Your data, your transcript, and those kind of things. If you're from, I'll talk about Latin America for right now. If you're from Latin America, there are one of the things that you need to do also is, you know, a statement of purpose. What that means is, what is that? You know, what is my goal? What am I going to do? What do I want to do? And how do I want to do it? It's a letter basically saying, this is what my future plans are. The second piece is, you know, you aside from completing an application and everything else, you also have to, one of the parts as far as the English language proficiency, there are three pieces that we accept. We accept TOEFL, IELTS, and of course Duolingo. Guys, you know, you can pay for the other two and all that sort of stuff, and you'll get one shot at it. Duolingo, you know, it's cheap, it's effective, and we accept it. So those are the biggest things that we ask that you do. Now, the other thing is too, you know, we want a resume, we want a statement of work, a statement of purpose. And these are things that they say, well, you know, we don't really need that. But let me tell you, if you don't send that, I'm just looking at an application. But if you send me those things and letters of recommendation, that's a very important piece. If you're able to send me those things, now I'm seeing the whole person, and I can make a better choice to be able to make you part of SMU. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, that does. Actually, it touches on a few of the Duolingo questions as well, which is perfect. Are there any scholarships available?
Okay, for graduate level work, no, we don't have that many scholarships. It all depends on the actual discipline itself. There are some, but realistically, there are none to be had. However, we have found in different countries that we have gone to, and we've partnered with a few of the places, there are actual organizations that will help you pay for your school. And for within, and what you do is you contact them, and they'll help you along in being able to help to pay for the school itself.
Great. And can I work alongside my degree? Is any work experience required in order to apply?
I'm sorry?
Someone's asking, there's two parts in this question. Can I work alongside my degree in the US? And is there any work experience required to apply?
Well, that's what we were talking about when we said about the OPT. You know, that is the possibility once you've completed at least 6 months or a year of studying. Now, the good thing is, I mean, there's also possibilities of internships and things of that nature, and also working on campus. There are possibilities of being a TA, a teacher's assistant, and so on and so forth.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, what advice would you give us to write the motivation letter?
Let me tell you, in Spanish, I say con fuego y ganas. That means with a lot of spirit and a lot of showcase who you are. Don't be afraid to tell us who you are. Put some emphasis behind it, because that letter is going to describe who you are. So put your best foot forward about everything and anything that you have done, and don't be afraid to how do you say, talk about yourself. I know a lot of us don't like to brag about ourselves, but this is an opportunity for you to brag.
100%. And does the letter of recommendation have to be from an employer, or can it be from a teacher?
Both.
Okay.
It can be from both. The only thing we ask is that a letter of recommendation isn't from mom and pop or grandma or anything like that, unless of course they're doctors and they're CEOs or something like that. But no, it can be from professionals as well as teachers.
Amazing. And is there any way to access to a personalized session? I believe classes is what they're asking.
Well, it's funny because depending on the class that you take, and I'll give you an example. So in computer science, there may be somebody may want to study a little bit of AI as an example. So because our classes are so small, when it comes to the graduate level, and I'm assuming that this is a lot of graduate on the master's level. Our master's level classes are, I have 12 individuals. 12 individuals in my class. Why? Because I want to be able to know who you are, and I want you to know who I am, and I want to know, I'll get to know what is your motivation, what do you want to do, kind of thing. So it all depends on how you do things to make things happen. Now I might have gone off the question a little bit.
No, that's fine. That's great. Is there any help with finding work after our studies?
I tell you, the OPT is probably the best way for you to be able to find work after the fact. So after the first year that you work, that you're studying and everything else, and you go into an OPT piece, there are, like I said, there are corporations throughout all of Dallas area. And if you work hard enough and you do what needs to be done, hey, one of those organizations may hire you. Now, I will tell you that depending on your country, you have at least anywhere between 2 to 5 years, depending, once you get your degree, to be able to work before you have to return. The best thing is, make sure that the company that you work for, you work hard as can be, make an impression on them, and then turn around and have them, because they will hire you, and they will do all the paperwork and everything else that needs to be taken care of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, another question here. What is the cost of living like there? And is Dallas safe?
The cost of living in Dallas is actually a lot better. And I'm going to compare for a second. The cost of living here in Dallas in comparison to California or New York or Chicago is, if you go, and I'll tell you, because I lived in those states, cost of living in New York compared to Dallas is 50% less. In California, it's almost 75% less. Education is going to cost you, throughout the country is going to be an expensive thing. However, it's one of those things that you have to look at. But to answer the question, Dallas, the cost of living is a hell of a lot, is a lot better than in other places. Is it safe? Yes. You know, I happen to know the chief of police here in Dallas, and he has done a superb job in making sure that our city and our whole area is very safe.
Amazing. And how about accommodation? So will I stay on campus or do I have to find accommodation off campus?
Okay, so for graduate students, there's no accommodations on campus. So let me give you a general information so that way everybody's on the same page. Tuition, first of all, it's a 2-year course. Okay, it's a 2-year course. And a 2-year course can cost anywhere between $40,000 to $45,000 for the 2 years. Okay. Now, the cost of living, we did a little analysis on our end over here, and the cost of living for 24 months or for 2 years can be anywhere between 25,000 to 36,000, depending on your living style. I mean, if you're used to, you know, having the red carpet roll out, that may cost you a little bit more, but outside of that, that's what our basic prices should be.
Amazing. And how about traveling with dependents? I would like to travel with my son.
You know, again, because you're getting independent living area, you know, you can, the opportunity, I know that there are single parents and things like that. Opportunities over here as far as finding a place is one thing. As far as finding daycare and things like that, there are availabilities. I can't answer those specifically. That is something that you all will have to research in the area.
Of course. And lastly, how long does the application process take? And how far in advance do you recommend to apply?
Okay, so let me get my little cheat sheet over here. Because I'm looking for my little my little reference book and everything else, so that way you have. All right, so look, the applications themselves start now. May is when, I think it's May 15th is for the fall. In other words, starting school in September timeframe. And then November 10th is the other one to start in January. Okay, so depending on when you want to start is when the application, what you need. And again, in the application, guys, you know, like I said, letters of recommendation, your statement of purpose, your as far as your language piece, you need your official transcripts. Masters, for master's work, GRE is not required. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about. What else? Again, resume, letters of recommendation, at least 3, statement of purpose, and ELP requirements, which is the TOEFL, IELTS, and Duolingo. Hope that answers the question.
Brilliant. Well, thank you guys. It's been a brilliant session, and I think we've had a lot of information in this short amount of time. Is there anything else you would like to add before we end?
Yeah, I one thing I do want to add is, you know, I can send you this same this, for those that are in Latin America, if you'd like to see the presentation that we gave in Spanish, I'll be more than happy to send you that also. So in case anybody asks of it.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. We'll be in touch with everybody after this webinar. Thank you, Junior, for your time, and thank you guys for listening and all of your questions. They were really much appreciated. We will be getting in touch with you in the next couple of days, not just us, but also SMU, to really reach out and answer any other questions that you may have. All right, well, we hope to see you at SMU soon. So thank you, everybody, and have a good evening or afternoon wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.